The last time I tested the Zenfone Max Pro M2's camera, I wasn't extremely happy because the camera app wasn't great. There was no portrait mode for selfies, there was no AI mode, and more such issues. But the camera hardware is really capable. Now, a recent update from Asus has fixed most of those issues. So in this video, let's compare it with the new Redmi Note 7 and see if it can beat it with regards to camera performance. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Ashwin Sundar. This is Technology Jock. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more of these videos. Let's first look at some photos shot in broad daylight. In case you're wondering what I've got on the Max Pro M2, it's an amazing skin from Capes India, our sponsor for this video. Capes India has a wide variety of cool skins that provide better grip and prevent scratches without adding a lot of bulk to the phone. They are available for all the latest phones including the Galaxy M20, so do check them out. You can use the coupon code TJOCK to get 10% off on your purchases. So coming back, here are some pictures shot using the 12 megapixel IMX486 sensor of the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and the 48 megapixel Samsung sensor of the Redmi Note 7. Well, it's not exactly a 48 megapixel sensor because by default it combines every 4 neighboring pixels into one. So the final resolution is 48 divided by 4, which is 12 megapixels, same as the M2. So in terms of sharpness, both are equally good. At times though the Max Pro M2 messes up a little, I found the Note 7 to be more consistent. None of the shots ended up missing focus or ended up blurry. Another noticeable difference, the Max Pro M2 goes for a slightly more natural representation of colors, as in the colors are not very vibrant, while the Note 7's color reproduction is more pleasing to the eye. Like here, the light blue color of the sky is retained by the Note 7's photo. Same with this comparison. The Note 7 goes for a slightly oversaturated look sometimes. It's just personal preference, some like it the oversaturated way, some don't. Next, let's have a close look at the dynamic range. The images we saw until now, they weren't shot in extreme conditions. But here, there are dark regions and a super bright sky in the background. On the M2's photo, the sky is blown out. There is no visible detail. It's all just pure white. But the Note 7 has retained some color from that region. And this region is also brighter on the Note 7's image. Here, once again, look at the color of the building. The Note 7 gets it right. By the way, the apertures on both cameras is the same, it's f1.8. In spite of that, in these close-up images, otherwise called as macro shots, the background blur is stronger on the Note 7's photo. Now, how is that possible? Same aperture, same effective resolution, but stronger background blur. Well, it's because the size of the sensor is different. The Max Pro M2 sensor measures 1/3 an inch, while the Note 7 sensor measures 1/2 an inch. Larger the size of a sensor, stronger the background blur is. Guys, in case you find it hard to understand these technical stuff, if you want to learn those basic camera terms, then click this link and watch that video. I've explained everything in very simple terms. You will understand everything thoroughly. So coming back, of course, if it's not a close-up shot, there will be no blur at all. So when you move away from the subject, then you will have to use portrait mode. Here's the comparison. The differences are quite obvious. The Note 7's portrait is brighter. My scary, monstrous face has more detail. It's a lot sharper. The edge detection is also better on the Note 7's portrait. On the Max Pro M2's portrait, half of my hand has been blurred out. For selfies, both phones have a 13 megapixel front-facing camera. They are almost equally sharp and the color reproduction is only slightly different. But when you zoom in a lot, then you can see that the Note 7's selfie is sharper. Not a big deal actually, overall they don't look a lot different from each other. In fact, the Max Pro M2 doesn't have HDR for selfies and the Note 7 does have HDR, but still there's no difference in dynamic range between both selfies. Now all of those things apply to portrait selfies as well. But the Note 7 holds an edge when it comes to edge detection and background blur. In this comparison, my ear is blurred out on the Max Pro M2 selfie. Same here, blurred out ears plus some blemishes near my right ear. So overall, my pick for selfies would be the Note 7. Now, when the lighting is bad, when the surroundings so dark, the Note 7 manages to capture much more detail. And the reason is something I already mentioned, because the sensor size is huge. Now, I know the size of every individual pixel is only 0.8 microns, which is below average to be frank, but since this sensor combines 4 pixels into one, the effective size of every individual pixel is 1.6 microns. And if you didn't know, bigger the pixel, more the amount of light captured. So that's why in these comparisons, the Note 7 performs much better. The Note 7 also has a dedicated night mode which enhances the quality even further. Now remember those fancy features on the Note 6 Pro like bokeh light trail, bokeh shapes, etc. All of them are available on the Note 7 as well. If you want to learn more, here's a dedicated video explaining all those features in detail. When it comes to video recording, both phones are capable of shooting 4K videos, but for some reason Xiaomi has disabled it on the Redmi Note 7. But even then, seems like there is not much difference. The Note 7's footage looks more accurate in terms of color reproduction, and everything else is pretty much the same. So, rear camera photos, portraits, selfies, low light photos, etc. All things considered, the Redmi Note 7 is the new camera beast in the segment. It's considerably better than the Max Pro M2. Now, if I finish the video here, there's gonna be a whole bunch of comments asking me for Google camera comparison between both phones, right? I know, I'm gonna address that as well. See guys, Google camera is an unofficial application. You and me know such a thing exists, you and me know how to install it, but not every person buying the phone will know these things, right? In fact, the app is not even stable. So as a responsible reviewer for comparing two phones and announcing a winner, I'm supposed to consider only the stock camera apps. However, for those of you who want to know how the phones perform on Google camera, well, I don't have a lot of usable samples, but let's just say they're proportionally better. If this is how the stock camera apps of both phones perform on a scale of 0 to 100, this is how the Google camera apps perform. Short version, under low light, the Note 7 performs better. Here's a comparison between the Note 7 and Max Pro M2's photos, shot using Google's night sight mode. But when the lighting conditions are good, then there's not much difference between the pictures. And selfies, once again, not much difference. So there you go. This is one of the most detailed camera comparisons I've ever made. So if you appreciate the efforts, hit like, subscribe to Technology Jock, and more importantly, hit the bell icon to get notifications for my future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out Capes India. Their skins are amazing. Alright? Okay, see you in my next video. Bye.